doing well? How's it going? Good afternoon, good evening to my dear friends, old friends and new. So I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to be live for a few minutes, depending on if there's any questions I can help you with. But I have this particular question. I wanted to see what you think about it because I get this so many times, and I think that it deserves its own, you know, broadcast. Like it deserves its own episode. So I'm going to talk about that. Hey, Shweta, it is Nainital's gorgeous. Nainital's gorgeous. And I'm happy to be here, even though today's been a complete washout. It's raining. We couldn't go out, couldn't do anything, but it's still pretty to look at. So it's good. The question I have is in some form or another, this is what I see a lot. I'm at this stage where I need to decide, should I pursue X or Y, A or B? And it doesn't really matter if the person is at the start of their career or the middle of their career or even 30 years work experience. I want to know what you think about this because it's not for a coach to say this is what you should do. And I think that's the wrong thing. That's not really coaching. It's not the definition of coaching. So I think you should pursue X or I think you should pursue B because it has more financial potential. Not exactly. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. So I want to know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments how would you approach what career to choose because I have a certain way of doing it, but it's not the only way, right? So I have a few coaches here who are watching live as well. So I want to be, check it out, what you think about it. Risto, looking at you here, what would you think about that? How would you decide which career to pursue? Because we have this fear, and what happens with that fear is we end up not taking a decision because we freeze with that fear, right? And staying stuck or freezing for an extended period of time doesn't help because we lose that momentum. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because this is something that I get so much that I think is worth a bit of a dialogue. So, hey, Adam, good to see you here back in New York City. I'm in a lovely place that belongs to my parents. It's absolutely gorgeous. We call this the sunroom right here. And I'm away from the rest of the house because it's a bit more noisy. So, yeah, there's a heat wave. In Finland, 30 degrees is absolutely insane. So, totally hear you because I think when we go back after almost 2 months in India, Belgium is going to be dry. Our garden's going to be completely parched. I'm sure of it. Hey Pranav, thanks to you, I got a job offer with an increment even after a career break. That's fantastic, Pranav. Thank you so much for sharing. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Tell me how you did it. I want to be able to hear more of the story so that you can also, by doing this, help others as well. So do share that with us. If you can, that would be great. So while I see, your answers, I want to, share my thoughts on it, right? I faced this multiple times. Should I do this? Should I do that? The point is, you're never going to know for many years whether the decision you made was right or wrong. And wrong, no, I don't know. I'm a, I'm a big fan of learnings and I don't believe in anything like failure. So if you decide to do something and it doesn't work out, it'll give you a new set of tools in your toolbox that you wouldn't have got if you hadn't gone down that road. So it's for me that paralysis analysis and postponing making a decision because you're so scared. But I don't know, should I do this? This is on the decline. I think that rather than chase something that brings more, uh, you know, financial certainty, rather than chase something like that. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I know financial certainty matters, especially at the early years. I would say instead, let's focus on attracting more joy to our lives. I think we could use more joy in our lives. So, what is that career? What is that line, professional line, that when you're doing it, even if you've done it in school or college, you've studied about it, it's made you happy and you can talk to strangers about it? It gets you excited. And in fact, even if you had an opportunity to do something on the side and it wouldn't pay you anything, but you love it so much and it brings you so much of joy, you would do it for free. What is that? Explore that, dig deeper in that, because that'll give you a much better idea. Your motivations are going to be more pure and not corrupted by the day to day. The day to day is there, don't get me wrong, I'm not naive here, but there's also regrets in life, and last thing you want to do is just do something because it's the right thing to do, because your family expects you to do it, or society expects you to do it, but it's not something that necessarily makes you happy. Let me know what you think. uh hmm Loving the thoughts here. All right. Hey Jeff, good morning in Ohio. How are you doing? Here is the one tool to decide. Okay, let's listen to the experts here because this is what they do for a living. Is flipping the coin for A or B. But with a capital BUT. After flipping, contemplate if you are satisfied with the result. If not, you can always flip it again. But this puts you first on the edge and helps you to contemplate, right? It helps you to make a move, it helps you to make a decision. So I think it's really, it's a hard one, right? Interesting question. When I've been at a crossroad, if anything, I ask myself if I'm running away or running towards something. I use that as well. That's a great one, Adam. That's a great one. Because running away comes from fear, running towards comes from love. And I know what I don't want. I know what I do want. But the know that I know what I don't want shouldn't be so big that it becomes the be all and end all, right? When we get into that negative spiral. So that's a great point. All right. Yeah, Risto is on the same page. Brilliant, brilliant. You got to make a decision and you got to make it right. You got to make it work for you, right? You can't force it, Pranav. But I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. Jeff says a mentor of mine told me the same thing a long time ago. Absolutely. Hey Dan, how's it going? So yeah, that's something that I I seem to have gone and come back. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. I seem to have gone and come back. Yeah, I'm back. I don't know. I hope I was not like doing weird stuff because I was trying to do tech stuff in the meantime. So yeah, I wanted to quickly reply to this question, Krishna. If you're still here and you're watching, thank you for being here. I seem to have lost connectivity, and I don't think Wi-Fi is going to be great here in the hills, so I'm going to make this quick. Hey Krishna, check out the YouTube videos I have on my channel on how to negotiate salary, A to Z, everything you need. You'll get absolutely everything from scratch. Imran, hey, what is the best way to talk to your manager for promotions or if you're not being appreciated in one-on-ones? It's a good point. Imran, there's a lot of things you can do. I'm going to be coming up with a podcast episode. I've been on a bit of a break with my podcast for the summer, but I'm going to be, so check out LinkedIn. I'm going to be doing a podcast coming out this weekend. And the podcast is going to be about a guest of mine on how she got 7 promotions in 10 years. And we talk a lot more about it. And I think this is a topic I also will be making a YouTube video on. So just watch this space. But in the meantime, I think what I will suggest that you do is you figure out have a conversation with your boss. Don't ask about, I want to get a promotion, because I feel like that gets a bit like, you want to get ahead of that. You don't want to get like, how do I get a promotion? It feels a bit reactive. Instead, ask about what are the most important things you need in this job to be successful to move to the next level, and then work backwards and figure out how much time you need. And then you've got that time and then make it happen. That's what I would do. Reverse engineer the situation. This is okay for this role from manager to senior manager. I'm looking at this. The position should include these skills. Boss is telling you that. You're like, okay. And I'd like to make that happen. This is how I think I should go about it. What are your views on that? So approach it like that. Approach it in a, equal fashion, asking for advice rather than asking for a promotion, if that makes any sense. And then see what he's looking for, he or she, and then see how can you make it happen and how much time do you need, and then go all in and focus and make it happen. That's the way I would do it. But obviously there's lots of different ways to do it. So check out that podcast I'm going to be doing coming up soon. Hi, Abdul. Is it okay to accept a counter offer from the current company after resignation? It's a very personal decision, Abdul. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. In my personal experience, what I've noticed is when a company makes a counter offer, it's already a little late. I don't even know if this is working. It already is a bit late. Trust has been broken. So it's not always the best approach. You'll never know. It's kind of like that question we were talking about earlier, right? What do I do? Do I do A or do I do B? So, good luck with that. Personally, I'm not a fan, right? Hey, Shweta, I was going through a similar situation to go to project management, a consultant with so many strangers. What I realized is I won't know. Experiences are subjective. Very true. Very true. You never know for sure. So, sorry, guys. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for being back with me. You should have consistent income flowing. Income is very important, Anil. People who are like all about chasing your passion, come on. How can you chase passion when you don't have money? You need a little bit of money. You need a little bit of cushion. So I'm so glad you talked about it, because when you have that, then you don't come from a place of fear. Good point. I'm not a fan of making it like all about love and fresh air. Sorry, guys, I got rid of this because I thought it wasn't working and I thought I was about to lose the entire live stream. All right. Hey, Shiva. I'll take this last question and then I'll let you guys be on your way. What's your perspective for someone who's finding it hard to find time in keeping up with ever-increasing responsibilities of the current role and preparing for the next? It's all about priorities, Shivam, because you can't do everything. So focus on the needle movers. That's what I would do. What are some things in your current role that are absolutely so important that you can't move ahead in your career? Got to think of it selfishly, and also something that makes you look good in front of management. The rest of the stuff you either outsource, you delegate, or you do it later, and it's less important. But what are things that you cannot lose focus on, right? And in terms of preparing for next, I mean, yeah, there's always Wi-Fi is off. It is on. Okay, so that's what I would do. That will give you more time. Seems to be I'm back, but there's been issues. All right, fantastic. So thank you so much for tuning in. My next live stream will be the last Ask Me Anything that I'm going to be conducting for a while, because I've been doing this over the summer, and we're going to be doing back to the guests and talk to different guests from around the world. So I hope this has been helpful. Hey, Raghavendra, thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. So thanks for hanging out with me. I shall see you in the next live stream. Take care. Have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend as well.